Getting ready for what will be a round of green flag pit stops for some of the front runners, as we've only had a couple of quick caution flags in the opening 81 laps of tonight's NASCAR Nationwide Series race. Teams getting their helmets on, tire changers loosening up, getting the air pressures set just right, and now it's up to the men atop the pit box, the crew chiefs, to make the call as to when to bring that car off the racetrack under green if we don't see the yellow in the next little while. From the pit studio with Ray, Rusty, and Brad, let's talk about it, crew chief. You've been running the numbers on your pad down the end of the table here.
Well, I'm thinking because these guys had to qualify and do pace laps, I'm thinking 10 to 15, maybe 20 laps on fuel, not knowing what this new car is going to get. But you can see the tire starts to drop off right now quite a bit. Another thing we need to be watching for is if guys are going to short pit. You could short pit and make up some time on new tires, but you take a big chance of going 2 laps down here.
Speaking about making up time on new tires, Elliott Sadler restarted in 26th position. He's moved into 5th. Here he goes looking for 4th.
He is absolutely, he's the fastest car on the racetrack right now. He has been setting them up and knocking them down lap after lap. Elliott's having an outstanding run. And before you know it, he's going to be up there knocking on Mr. Harvick's bumper, I do believe.
Well, going in this race, Brad, we had no idea how important tires were going to be on the car. I mean, and to put these tires on it with not many laps on, just blow through the field, I mean, it's a real eye-opener how important tires are on this new NASCAR nationwide car. And so I'll tell you what, the question earlier was at the beginning of the broadcast, a green, white check, you can come in and get tires? You bet you are. We learned that right off the bat.
So the question also becomes then, as we see Kyle Busch in the pink car closing in on the yellow one of Clint Boyer, and that'll be a race for 2nd and 3rd. If we get green flag pit stops for some of these front runners, guys like Elliott Sadler that can go 30-plus laps farther on fuel, we'll put some of those front runners who stop onto the green in a real danger zone, watching for the caution flag and hoping that they don't get burned by a yellow in between when some of these guys who can run longer make a pit stop. Marty, DJ, and Andy.
All right, thank you, Alan. We're watching on board. You can see the telemetry from Kyle's car as he is still trying to track down that 2nd spot owned by Clint Boyer.
This has been a long run to start this race on this first set of tires. You see Brad Keselowski maybe losing another spot to Paul Menard. But usually you'll see the brake heat at these long runs maybe cause a right front tire failure, and that's what a lot of teams would be worried about when they start. They don't want to be the first car to make a green flag stop because somebody might have a problem like that and then bring the caution out.
Well, right in front there is Ryan Truex. He is already down a lap in 32nd spot, but it's Menard going underneath the 22 of Keselowski, and that is for 6th position. Denny Hamlin right behind that with Eric Almirola in that 4-group pack. That's all for position.
Yeah, that 7 car also is another one that came in that last time and got tires, and you can see it's benefiting him as he's moved up into that 9th spot.
See the battle on the right side of your screen. Clint Boyer and Kyle Busch continuing. Oh, that got close with the 38 of Leffler. Leffler's a lap down in 27th, so what started out as a good day beginning is all of a sudden gone south for the 38. Dave?
And Marty, it's a shame for them. Started 9th on the day. The car just was never really right for Jason. He complained of no grip early on, and on the last restart, he actually thought he had a right rear tire going down. Is on the left. They're getting pretty tight there. So Jason has had no grip, loose everywhere, and the car just not drivable for Leffler tonight.
And that's a battle on the right side of your screen for the lucky dog position. Jason Keller, they're both 1 lap down, and they are running 27th and 28th. So that's a very important position for one of those 2 drivers if we would get a caution. Meanwhile, what's going on with Kevin Harvick? Well, he's only led all 91 laps. Stay with us. Back here at Richmond International Raceway, Kevin Harvick's trying to turn it into his own personal show. He has led every single lap since the drop of the green flag, all 98. Points leader Brad Keselowski reported a possible engine problem. He's dropped back to 10th. The guy that's been on the move, Elliott Sadler, he is now 4th and only 2.4 seconds behind the race leader. And, of course, Kyle Busch still looking to make history if he could win tonight in the pink car. Rusty, you were noticing something from down there in the pit studio?
I tell you what, guys, I'm noticing something big time. If this was the old car, you see the front brake rotors on fire. But this car has got such a big rear spoiler on it. When these guys get out of the throttle, these cars are decelerating all by themselves. They're slowing down much quicker than the older car. And because of that, these drivers are not using as much brake. If you take a look at most of the brakes on the good cars, I don't see the redness like I used to see. Also, all these speeds. Top 20 cars are running at almost identical speeds. It's amazing how close the times are on these new cars.
Rusty, I agree. I'm sorry, but I agree with you on that brake heat. I don't see it in near as many cars as usual. I see the 21 car of Boyer. His rotors at times have been pretty red, but that's the only car I've really noticed it on.
Yeah, and I think one thing in talking to these guys yesterday about their cars, they've had to back the corner up some. They're not able to charge the corner. They don't have the downforce, but they've got this spoiler, and I think all of that's making it work to their advantage by being able not to have to use the brakes as much and have the problems we've seen in the past.
Yeah, and hey, guys, let's talk strategy. You know, you've got guys like Elliott Sadler and Eric Almirola who have come up all the way from the back now on these new tires. You got the leaders ready to pit. Now, if you're Sadler and Almirola, do you let them pit and only wait a couple laps before you pit so they can't get that far out ahead of you? I'm thinking if I'm Elliott Sadler's crew chief, I'm going to let those guys pit, and in a couple laps, I'm going to pit right behind them so I don't lose that distance. I'm racing that 33 car for the win now.
Yeah. Oh, contact right there. But I do agree with you, Ray. I'd be right there with them. I wouldn't let them get too far out ahead of me on their fresh tires. I'd take the advantage that we've gained so far and then just change tires with them.
Boy, Kyle Busch almost got into Mark Green, locked the brakes up big time.
Yeah, he did. And we look right up ahead of there. Clint Boyer has pretty much caught Kevin Harvick now. As you see, Elliott Sadler has caught Kyle Busch after that little episode, and he's going to take that third spot away.
Here he comes. So, man, the guy that has been on the move like a rocket ship has been Elliott Sadler. Eric Almirola has also moved into the top 5.
I destroyed the left front tire.
Let's go back and show you what happened here.
Okay.
Yeah, he thought he was going to have the inside there. Mark Green moved down and took that away. You could hear Kyle say that he's destroyed that left front tire. He just had to lock it up to keep from running over him.
Well, the good news is he's going to change that left front tire here in just a few laps, so it shouldn't hurt him too bad.
As long as it doesn't blow before that time.
Harvick's got 2 cars in front of him. That is going to allow Boyer to close up. That's Darnell in the 16, the 23 of Bowman Presley.
Sadler's got both of them in his gun sights. He's looking for the lead.
You got to remember, Darnell and Presley, they're the last 2 on the lead lap. They do not want to go a lap down. And Darnell has now got his hands full because here comes Harvick underneath. So he is now a lap down. Darnell is in 25th position.
We're getting on the upper limit now what these cars can run on fuel, so there won't be too many more laps. You'll see them on pit road.
Yeah, that 21 car is really the only one that I'm seeing the rotors really glowing. We heard them tell him to adjust some front brake into that thing because of the looseness he was having. So that may be that, but he's obviously running very well. But he's going to lose that second spot to Elliott Sadler here now.
Whatever Pops did besides just put those tires on, because they obviously made some other changes to that race car, it has worked.
Nothing works better than those new tires. I can tell you that.
Boy, that makes makes the driver out of you for sure. But Elliott Sadler, I think this car benefits his driving style some too, and knowing working with Elliott over the years, he's not one to charge the corners. He backs the corner up and gets to the gas sooner, and I think that's really working to his advantage. Jamie?
Well, you guys on the 88, besides the 4 tires, believe it or not, all they did was go up a half round on the track bar. So that's a lot of driver. Let's go over to Doc.
Carl Edwards' car has been tight in the middle of the corner. They expect it to loosen up from the middle off. That has not happened. It has actually gotten tighter. So a half a round on the track bar, 4 tires. They'll top it off with Sunoco fuel. Carl said the car is not getting killed from the middle of the corner off, because I am just so tight. 00 Ryan Newman in, the young man who said he was sort of lost yesterday. Got a lot of help from Trevor Bain. They also have a situation with a very loose race car. Young man making only his 3rd ever start. Jamie.
And you see Paul Menard in there, the 98. He said he's tight center and loose soft, same as what a lot of people are saying, but not having a bad run at all. They tested at Gresham Motorsports Park last week. They said they found a lot that they expected to help them tonight. And your leader, Kevin Harvick, in the 33. You see Kyle Busch in the pink car pit right behind him. In the 33, the car has been perfect. No adjustments to be made on this race car. Just 4 fresh tires. They have been thrilled since they unloaded this race car. Happiest in the garage of any crew chief I talked to. So they want to continue their domination, Doc.
Well, contact. Clint Boyer hits the right front tire carrier for Kelly Byers. Knocks a tire out of his hand. He is okay. Now, Boyer pointed in his pits. 4 tires. 1 round down on the track bar. Boyer says, I am loose in and loose off. A lot of steam and water coming out of the front of Boyer's car. He's down and away.
Green flag pit stops continue. You see the 26 of Parker Kligerman also coming in. And let's send it for Trevor Bayne stop. Vince?
Trevor Bayne in the 99. He's had a pretty good race car in the early stages of the run, but it has just continued to get loose and more loose. They're going to put on 4 fresh tires. They've been very patient with him. He's had some good runs, and Jerry Baxter knows he's dealing with a 19-year-old on a very tight track. Jamie Little?
And the 22 had a problem getting in around his teammate, Parker Kligerman, in the 26. You see him sideways there, but he is inside the box. 4 tires, remember, he has been going backwards, not happy with something under the hood. Feels like there's a problem with the motor or components there within. But 4 tires right now, you see him making a chassis adjustment. Wow, that was a close one. Let's see the replay on the 22 and what happened exactly to Brad Keselowski when he came in.
Well, there you saw Parker Kligerman as he came out, and then Brad started to tuck back in.
Yeah, he was lucky that he avoided any contact there, but just bad timing, and unfortunately, that'll cost him a little bit of time.
So he gets back out, and you can see that Kevin Harvick is in front of him now. And right now, the race leader, of course, is Elliott Sadler with Eric Almirola in second. Nemechek is third. And remember, those guys all pitted back on lap number 37. Now, we've heard Dr. Jerry Punch talk about this right here.
Yeah, just a little bit of contact right there with that tire knocks it out of the tire carrier's hand.
Then coming down on pit road.
Yeah, you see the 16 tried to get to the commitment line, and he was outside of that, so he'll get a penalty for it.
So bad news for Eric Darnell. And then also news that Parker Kligerman gets a penalty for too fast for entering. And the 27, we're being told, Hermie Sadler, is also going to be penalized too fast entering pit road. So right now, Elliott Sadler is your race leader. Remember, he pitted on lap 37. You can see we're working 119.